That sounds like an adult college TA man who is, trying to be intellectual, answer correctly. What is wrong with the way he just answered this question? Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. I was asked to look into the Quora survey stuff that who and some lady went over because they were acting like Bryan Kohberger was just like this horribly rude person for the way that he was answering stuff. And I went over there and I didn't listen to their mouths because I honestly just can't. Okay. But I went in and read a couple of the things before grabbing this myself and looking at it. And he's answering like an autistic person. A very matter of fact, very, very technical, almost like they're copy and pasting, from a Google answer. I had to learn this. My youngest son's not like diagnosed with autism. I try to keep him away from doctors as much as possible because I'm not just going to like stuff a bunch of pills down his throat for no reason. But he's got a little bit. He's got a flavor of it. All right. Just a little bitty hint of something. And whenever you say anything to him, he answers back so technical about everything. Like it has to be so precise, the answer that he gives back to you or what you are saying to him has to be extremely precise or else he's going to correct you. And it can be taken as aggression. It can be taken as being rude, as being disrespectful. But if you are an autistic person and this is just how your brain works and you have this just like monotone answer of like factuality, then that's not you being rude or condescending or an a-hole or making fun of anyone. That's your brain computing things correctly like normal people can't, okay? Autistic people have like special powers, alrighty? So they can compute things in my brain the way that I can like view people. They can compute things in their brains a hell of a lot faster than we can. Certain things, especially when it comes to like educational intelligence type situations. Creativity, there's a flavor for that too. That's wild. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I see in this survey the way that I would expect him to probably speak. Especially, again, I always bring it back to, we were told that a girl didn't like the way that he answered her. Well, it sounds like the chick was just kind of lazy and just maybe wanted his attention. Well, did you read the assignment? Basically saying, you're asking me a question that could have been answered last night if you would have just actually put a little effort in. That's all I heard. So since I was asked to go over this, we're going to go over a few of these. Again, here's the link. You guys can have this link right here. Y'all can go and look at it yourself. We're only going to go over a few to prove a point because we don't have to go through all of it. But I'm just going to read some of these, okay? Because again, I don't find anything wrong with the way that he's answering, okay? This was 3-ish years ago. Okay, so this would have been like right before the crimes, right around the time of the crimes, I guess, maybe before, maybe after, I don't know, but 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, here they are. Somebody asked about being able to pass a P-test after hitting a pin, and he even puts a damn diagram in here as an answer. Okay, this dude was a TA. Of course he's going to answer questions like this. He's going to be specific. Again, I don't find a problem. Bro, yes. Right there. But that's also why I always say Sheldon Cooper. Sheldon Cooper. Hello. That's my daughters. That's my Ariels. So again, I don't have a problem with the way that he's answering this stuff. So we're going to go in here and I'm just going to, read like maybe 2 or 3 of the things that he answered in here. Because again, autistic, technical, factual, not an issue. Okay. This person asked, does a mean score of 58.95 for a class of 14 students mean a lot scored low? Meaning out of all the students, did a whole bunch of people get a low test score because of this being the average score for the entire room of 14? This was Bryan Kohberger's answer. The interpretation of a mean score of 58.95 is relative to the maximum possible score. If the maximum possible score was 60, then your class excelled. If the maximum possible score was 100, then your class indeed scored poorly. If you are referring 58.95 as a percentage, then this is the same as saying 58.95 out of 100 points, and your class did not do well. In theory, half of the students scored above and below 58.95, which means that a lot of students scored poorly, half or more. The mean may be taken to be a predictive trend in the data for the purposes of your question, but more information is needed to accurately determine how many students actually scored poorly. That sounds like an adult college TA man who is, trying to be intellectual, answer correctly. What is wrong with the way he just answered this question? I don't understand. Okay. So let's go to this next one. Let's go to this one right here. Okay. So this one's about ADHD and anxiety. Okay. Let's see what his answers were for this one. Let's say I take an IQ test and score 90 before being diagnosed with ADHD and an anxiety disorder. After treatment, I score 120. Could one say that treatment has made me smarter? This is Bryan Kohberger's answer. And remember, there's a lot of stuff from whenever he was a teenager that was written that got found where he really thought very poorly of himself. We know that. So, anxiety disorder, ADHD, he's probably not the worst person to be answering this question. So let's see what his answer is. Envision that you had a camera and wished to take a picture on a sunny day. The resulting picture is vibrant and pleasing to view. Imagine that one day it was rather cloudy and foggy, and you decided to take a picture with the same camera. You would observe that the resulting picture was dull and lacking in clarity. Thinking deeply, you would realize that, despite the resulting picture being poor in clarity and quality, this is due to other factors, the weather and lighting, that facilitated the potential of the camera. Think of your anxiety as the fog, your calm focus as the sunlight, the resulting photograph as your IQ test results, and the camera as your IQ potential. Therefore, one with an IQ of 120 had the potential to, depending on other factors, obtain their true score. It is not that treatment modified your IQ potential, but that it enabled your calm focus to facilitate its potential. Furthermore, anxiety is known to disrupt cognition and greatly hinder the working memory. Another factor to consider is the test-retest effect, in which taking the same test under the same circumstances more than once results in a higher score. Even the test-retest effect is influenced by anxiety, though. If a psychologist gave you the second score of 120, then trust in their conclusion. What is wrong with how he answers things? He sounds like an intellectual adult person. Very professional. No shit. He was trying to mimic Ted Bundy as if Ted Bundy would answer questions with people on Quora. No shit. What's wrong with the way that he's answering questions? See, yeah, that's what too. I'm like, they're sitting here talking all kinds of shit for like the couple of minutes I did listen to them turkey in it, okay? And I'm just like, what's wrong? I don't understand. I don't understand the problem. I just don't. He's very thorough. That's it right there. He's very thorough. Right? He's answering elaborately. That's a good point. He should answer elaborately because it's all good practice for his dissertation, thesis, doctorate, blah, blah, blah stuff. Yeah. I mean, seriously. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to read one more because, again, I don't feel like there's a problem here. I really just don't. What is the IQ of an elephant? The intelligent quotient, I can never say that word right because of the way that the T and the I and the E put together, is standardized for humans. Therefore, an elephant's IQ is a non-occurrence. That's hilarious. Is there a correlation between... Okay, I'm not going to read about potty problems, but y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. There ain't nothing wrong with the way he answered those questions. So I don't know why they felt the need to, like, go crazy. He sounds like a professional. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already.